Hello and welcome to Dario's movie review channel. Um, hello, you seven viewers of this video. Yeah, but it will get full this channel with cool movies and cool reviews and cool recommendations. It's more a recommendation channel. So today it is Top Gun Maverick with Tom Cruise, and why this movie was so great. Last Wednesday I went to see the movie, and I had to see the movie on a big screen. I had the urge. I had only heard about how great and good the movie is, and I wasn't skeptical. I knew it would be good. And I don't want to say that it's the best movie ever, but it is really freaking good. It was like, it is a long time since I had this feeling in a movie. Like, I watched John Constantine at the cinema, and I came out and I was pumped. I was high. I watched Edge of Tomorrow, Mad Max 4, and I was high. And I when the credits of this movie rolled, I was standing there, and it was like it was a religious experience for me. It was like I don't go to church or something like that, but I guess it was as close to a feeling of divinity, and I was touched by something greater. Um, like, and it was like by this movie. And let's go into the movie. The story. It's about an old Top Gun pilot. His name is Maverick, and he was the best of the best, the best of the best of the best of the best in the U.S. Navy, a fighter pilot, and he's an old guy now, and he flies a new test, like a stealth bomber or something like that. But the U.S. Navy want to take off the funds from the human flight research and put it all into drones and roboters and all of that stuff. And so he's a reasonable man. He's not a maniac, but he's a good pilot, and he knows what he's capable of, and he pushes always to the limits. And at the beginning of the movie, it's beautiful how his friend says something like, "I see it in your eyes, I don't like it." And the part played by Tom Cruise, like Maverick, says, "What are you seeing in my eyes?" And the guy says, "That look." And he says, "Well, that's how I look," and I can relate to that, because it's the look of lust for life and hunger for more, and not in a bad sense, in a good sense, that you want to push, that you want to excel, that you want to be at the best spot you can be, in a really good sense, like built on good fundamentals, and that you're also playful, wild, that you want to test your edge. And I think that's a very manly and wild and good thing to do, because, and that's maybe why this movie is so good, or maybe so timeless, or a classic already, because it talks about that. It's very Star Wars like very Obi-Wan, Luke, trust the Force. It has similar topics. It is related, because at the beginning we see him, and he's an old guy, and old machines, and everything is new and secure and technical and very safe, and there is no room for life anymore. But yeah, the story is then he gets then called to Top Gun because some rogue nation, which maybe the Russians or something like that, are building a nuclear facility, and it's a nuclear facility in the most impossible space. Like, it's in a mountain, and it's secured with anti-aircraft missiles, and with the best, how do you say, with the best jets the enemy has. So America is not on top anymore. Like, it is rivaled by this rogue enemy, whoever they are. Like, but they're on par with them. And so flying the mission is it's a difficult thing, and the Top Gun pilots are getting called in not for a simulation but for a real mission, a real dangerous mission where maybe someone or maybe more pilots will not return. They will give their life for this mission to save the world or America or something like that. And this sounds very patriotic, but it's really not. It's about a mission that is dangerous. It is rooted in the real world, not in some fairy tale world or make believe bullshit. Like even The Lord of the Rings or every good movie, or the stakes are real, and the stakes are real in this movie. And so this is where they call him to train the young guys and girls to go on the mission. And that's where the fun starts, because this is a very fun movie. It's a sexy movie. It plays with that 80s genre of machismo and having fun and naked buffed bodies and having fun at the beach and flying for the US Navy. And I don't have the 80s movie in mind. I only knew I liked it, and I may be rewatching it soon. But this movie it's not different. It's kind of builds on it, but it's also its own, and it is giving the commentary about the past 20 years, where everything got very technical and everybody got very soft in the same way. We'll talk about this in a second. So story so far, well, let me say one thing about the story. The best of the best, Tom Cruise or Top Gun Maverick calls them out. Yeah, you are the best of the best when you fly high above enemy radar and then you have to just drop a bomb on something. But in this mission, it's like you're not the best of the best. You're not well equipped or well trained to face this challenge, because your training was kind of fake up until this point, or not rooted in reality, or not rooted in a new reality. And I think that's a really important message, because the world we're facing today, and good movies, even if they have a topic like werewolves, vampires, hunters in the savannah, some prehistoric thing, like there's some nugget in a good story where you can relate to the now. And that is where themes and stories become timeless, because they always show what's going on right now. And right now, I think the world we've lived in the past 20 years, where everything was great, it's showing that it was not, or that everything that you have to strive for these things, or you have to do this and then you get that. And I think most of it was a fairy tale or an illusion. Maybe the times are always like that, and then we got to reshift and look at reality and take it for what it is and make the best of it. So okay, director, I don't know, watch the other reviews about the director, but it's a director who Tom Cruise made often movies with in the past time, I guess the Mission Impossibles and the Jack Reachers. And I have to say that's good. It's good to have a winning team. Bands that play together for a long time, musicians, some of the best, they will call up their drummer, their pianist, their winning team. Like, behind a successful person, most often it's not just one person, but really a winning team of people who support the lead player. So director and directing, well, the movie was great, like great directed. Everything, like the shots of the camera, the acting, like I was all the time. I mean, the movie has a runtime of a bit more, 130 minutes. And while I was watching the movie, or while it was over, I was like, okay, this were one of the 2 shortest hours of my life. Like, it felt just so good. The actors, everybody was great. Tom Cruise is a very, I want to say, strange person, because he has all this background noise from his private life. But if you can separate the art and actor from his personal persona, I find him always to be very enjoyable. And I have to say, I'm a true Tom Cruise fan in every movie he stars. And maybe one day soon, I will look a bit into his persona. And I already have, but on screen, he's really genius. He brings the stuff. And then the guy who plays Goose, or every actor, like the one who plays in Whiplash, great guy, kind of love him. All the other actors, really great performances. I love to see Ed Harris. Man, that recalls memories from The Rock and old Ed Harris movies, and that Ed Harris movie with Melanie Griffith, and yeah, like the acting was really cool. The rest will come. Film visuals, camera work, and how it's told. I mean, the movie looks gorgeous. If there was any CGI, I didn't really notice it. The movie felt very real. I was thrilled all the time. There are a million better movies who will go into all of these details here on YouTube. This is just a recommendation if you're still watching. The music and original soundtrack was good. I cannot recall the music anymore, but it was really great. The songs, the moments, and yeah, I have to say about the storytelling. It was really mastercrafted storytelling. I don't want to say that it's the best movie I've ever seen, but the story is very well told. How it unfolds, how we come from one situation to the other, the story beats, the reversals, the unexpected things that happen. You're rooting for the team, you're suffering with them, you're partying with them. Like, the movie really makes you feel all those feelings, and it does this through the visual storytelling, through the narrative, how it's written, how the dialogue comes off. Really good stuff. At one point, they play a football game on the beach, and it's a really gorgeous scene. And it's also story-wise really cool because, like, played by John Hamm, the guy from Mad Men, he comes up to Tom Cruise and he says, "These guys are not paid to play football. We're on a mission. We have only so many days to go, and you're playing football." And then Tom Cruise says, "Yeah, but we're forming a team." And it's nuggets like these that really count, and much more. And towards the end, the suspense is getting so incredible, and things happen that you really don't see coming. So a big part of movies and cinema is spectacle and surprise. And this movie delivers on this, on top, on the great story, on the great delivery, on all the great work that went into this movie. So let's cut it short. Themes of the movies and why to watch it. I think the themes of the movie is like you make your own choices. It's that maybe old values shouldn't be discarded or discounted only because the new stuff looks so much better and shinier. It tells you that you can rely on all the data you want, and and on all the security and technical stuff and know all the theory in the field. If you're not trained, if you have not getting your bruises, your hours, if you have not paid your dues, you will get your ass kicked. And it's as simply as that. And that's maybe because why people watch UFC, because UFC or fighting is always a reality check. It is always like who has trained the best. Sometimes, yes, it's definitely there's luck involved, but most of the time, reality or another fight or a different country or a situation will beat your mother effing ass if you're not grounded in the now, in the reality, if you're not well prepared, if you're not trained, if you cannot see what's coming at you and why. And this is why the movie's great. See ya.